We had. Yeah, I just noticed that. It's a good start of the morning, eh? Thought that would hold the last couple of days. I think this might hold. I hope so anyway. But yeah, it's a very good start to the day. We see the logic behind it was there just now. Look at the 4 hour. Might go up a little bit further. We'll see. Give it a couple of minutes. Still like the trade. Those are in, I think, hold. We'll discuss in a minute. If those in, I still think enjoyed it. I think it's going to hold. Look at the last few days there. As long as we're on the same page where the thinking's coming from. Morning, guys. Have a look at that. Okay, we'll do that next. I'll write it down so I don't forget. Yeah, as soon as I send the signal out, what happens? Jumps. It was ready to pounce on us, eh? No, it's 1/2 past. Okay. Good morning, guys. Yeah, the signal out was there just a moment or two ago. Thought it would hold. Thought it's not a bad idea, but the last few days it seemed to be below all these levels here. I thought that might be not a bad idea for a sell. And within sort of a couple of seconds of sending the damn thing out, it just decides to jump up. So, yeah, it's come to test us, eh? So what can I say? Obviously, I still believe in the trade until it's stopped now. But, no, still got shorter term here. Seems to still be holding around about these levels here. Any sellers coming in? A little bit of seller coming in here. Yeah, I think we might just hold there. Still like the trade. I see the downside there. A little bit more there. I still see the downside there. So if anyone hasn't joined it, what do you think? Get a better price. As I said when I put out the signal on the group, or better, so give you a better price. Don't put a sell stop in, by the way. You don't get a worse price. But yeah. Any thoughts? I'm going to stick with the guns. I still like it. Morning, Jess and everyone. Still like it, but it's, you can't say I like the 40-pip jump suddenly. Look at that. Just to stuff me around, you know what I mean? As soon as I send it out, kabang. Look at the long wick. Where's the long wick? I mean, this one here. Well, yeah. Okay, thanks for that. Need a bit of support for that jump. So I'm only human. It's not nice, you know. Oh, 26th of September, yeah, back there, yeah. Mentioned that this morning. We said, yeah, Clinton, that's right. Mentioned that this morning, of course, Clinton, yeah. Yeah, but that's down there somewhere.
Yeah, just a tiny bit more to the left.
Yeah. It's coming off now. So if you haven't got him, we'll put a risk reward up. There we are. I'm going to stick with the stop at 95. And we get a hell of a risk reward, so I'm sticking with the same TP. Because that jump now has made a risk reward from 2 to 4 to 1. But yeah. In fact, if you want to do it, you might want to do a slightly wider stop. If you're not in, leave it. If you are in, leave it alone. But if you're not in, maybe a slightly wider stop. Something like that. Still under 100 rand a micro. And the euro opening, the eurozone opening. Is it opening now? I think it's about 9ish. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think, guys? We've already sent it out now, so hope it comes right. That's all I can say. But you know, I've got a chance of getting in a better price. There it is if you want it. If you're going in now, maybe slightly wider stop. But if you're already in, don't change the stop. Either one, I mean. You worked out the risk reward based on a 95 stop. Keep the fingers crossed. It might come right, actually. Dollar's moving up again. Okay, yeah, just going back on the dollar. It's very difficult to call. As I mentioned before, we have a strategy meeting every morning at 8:30, and there was a call in, what do I think of the dollar? And I said, I have no idea. I'm going to be quite upfront on that. There's too many interpretations. I think it was on Bloomberg this morning, I was listening to a couple of experts, so-called analysts or whatever, and one was pretty strong and maybe a stronger dollar coming in. Another one's thinking maybe there's a weaker dollar going forward, the dollar's overvalued. When you get two guys saying either side, up or down, they're not too sure, then it's a bit the lap of the gods. As you probably know, the US midterms still haven't got a finalized. I think we need some vote countings, etc., recounts, because it's so close to call. I think it's 178, I can't remember now, on the Dems, and the Republicans now at 208. 218, once you get 218, they've taken over the House, they've got the majority of the House, there's another 10 to go, as the other ones trickle in after recounts or whatever. The Senate is still flat. It still needs a couple more, one way or the other. I think it needs a floor crosser or so before we get that. So that's dragging on now, which is not helping. Don't forget, we've got the CPI now, not up to 2, but 3:30, so it's changing time coming out. So that's the going against inflation of which causes of an inflation, an indication of how inflation it is. Come back to interest rate chit chat again. Some people saying now in December it's going to be 0.5. If that's higher, the CPI is higher, consumer price index is higher, then if I put that wrong, did I put it at 5.9? It should be 9. I don't know what it is. I'll look in a minute. The CPI is higher, that'll be inflationary, so it might go back to 0.75. There's a lot of balls in the air at the moment, making it very difficult. And you can see from the volumes, I'm not this off to get out of the way. You can see from the volumes, the trading are down because there's a lot of indecision either way. So just bear that in mind. I'm not saying that to be frightened or not to trade or whatever. Just bear that in mind. And a little bit of disclaimer on my part, because as I say, when you get some direction, I'm patting myself on the back, I'm not bad. I think you guys see it in the past, hey. But when it's this indirection, it's almost crystal ball gazing, and that's what I'm having difficulty with. So we get the CPI out of the way, and hope to God sometime today we'll get some results on the US midterms, and then I think we can hopefully get some direction. Okay. Sorry to be so vague, but that's the best I can do. But I'm welcome to listen to anybody else who's got some firmer ideas. Hi, Cheryl. Hi. Yeah, because it's almost a flick of a coin, you know. There's a good case. I'll bring Zeph into it. Zeph makes an excellent case to go long, and I make an excellent case to go short. And then, you know, like we had the other day, we both won. Went down and it went up. And that's what frustrates everyone. It's indecision and lack of direction, lack of follow through. And that's where I go frustrating, bottom line. I've been around, I've been through this before, we go through it again. One of those things, just, yeah. It's like an argument in marriage, get over it. Don't just divorce. And share some of that happiness, Cheryl. That's a good idea. Yeah, share some of that happiness. I like it. Okay, all right. So there you are. I seem to be coming off now. So if you want to take at these levels, I'm still happy with it. Slightly wider stop. That's your choice. We'll revisit just now. Okay, was mentioned yesterday, Stopper saw yourself, Cameron Morris. Yeah. Remember, volumes are very, very different on the shares or CFD shares to forex, commodities, etc. Okay, so you can buy or sell 200 shares of this. It's not such a, it's a reasonable deal, but it's not an astronomically big position. Obviously, you go 200 in forex, you've got to be a multi-millionaire. It's a very, 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 very large position. So after used to putting 0.1 or 0.1, 0.01 or 0.05 or whatever, suddenly putting in 50 or 100, it just breaks the mold a bit. Yeah, I've just got to have this sort of mental changeover on that. Because you don't want to be going in with 3, you should have been 300, especially if it goes right. If it goes wrong, well, what a pleasure. If it goes right, you make 100 instead of 10,000 or something ridiculous. You get the idea. 100 times the difference. Yeah. So you're basically, yeah, for support for going down, resist you going down, support going up. We'll see if it goes off anymore. Anyway, that's your choice. Put it up there. Still like it. Okay, BA, our good friend BA, discuss again, hey, this morning. Still driving a little bit on the insane side, but it seems to be holding. I think hopefully we'll get some movement down on that, going on to opening at 4:30. Yeah, good idea, Cheryl. That's the best thing you can do, because it is frustrating. I don't look forward to trading rooms like this at all. I like when we get trades out and they're doing well and you're getting direction. It's a hit, but this is the come down of the when you're coming off the heroin. You know what I mean? Getting withdrawals. Yeah, could call it actually like, yeah, scalping week. Okay, yeah, so we visit later on this afternoon some of those shares. Gold is coming a little bit, but it's still a bit iffy because again, they're waiting on direction coming out, which hopefully will come later on in today with regards to the dollar and the yields. Okay, so I still see downside, but that could completely change if news comes out where we're going to have a weaker dollar. So be careful of chasing it, but I do see some downside. Okay, we'll just check on the NAS. That confused me as well because normally when you get a likely Republican takeover, it's usually good for shares. So I thought there might be a bit of a jump. Well, clearly that didn't happen. The NAS came off a couple hundred pips or so yesterday, and the Dow came off as well. I think Dow came off as well, which surprised everyone. The S&P almost certainly followed suit. There you are. Okay. So yeah, it's I'm sorry guys, but it's flip the coin and take your chance at the moment, I'm afraid to say. Do we get any other trades out yesterday? Let's have a look. Did we get a trade out to it? Oh, hang on. No, there's the paper. Ah, here we are. Yes, good. AUD USD. Let's start on a more positive note. 94.87 was the signal. Some people gone a little bit lower, but that doesn't matter. It turns out it's come off beautifully. So that's put a smile back on. I've decided to go the Cheryl route. Find something positive to put the smile back on my face. Not after they did. I'll discuss that in a minute, and I have an opinion on that. So that has come off nicely. So clearly modify your stop, guys, if you're in this one. See if we get some more downside. The dollar seems to be going up as we speak at the moment. So if we get a bit more downside, it needs to hold below 64. If it jumps, well, you might get stopped out in the profit. So where are we going to put the stop? We want to build in a decent profit. So it might be a bit close, but I think 64.20 might be a modification stop. If you feel it's a bit too close, well, you can put a bit higher. But whatever you do, modify it so you're not going to lose on the trade. Modify it to a profitable situation. Okay, so modify your stops if you're still in this one. So we're going to go the Cheryl route here and put a smile back on our faces. Happy days. Okay, right, so that's fine. US dollar, Japanese yen jumped around. I think most guys got stopped out in the profit, but it suddenly fell off and trying to go back up again. I've got a little bit of doubts on that. The Japanese yen at the moment, it seems a little bit of strength coming in from somewhere. So I think leave it. Normally these levels that we're chasing is a very high probability trade, but I think at the moment, if you're stopped out in a profit, don't try to attack it again. If you're still in, you got your stop protecting you. We should have got in according to trading room figures. Got from it 145.70. So if you're still in, you got in around about the 145.70, 45.80 mark. Put your stop out just above your entry to cover costs and let it run and see if you can get something out of it. GB CAD took profits. Okay, well that's good as well. Okay, that's I'm getting miserable about. Yeah, you're quite right. That's the human strike, isn't it? You're going to focus on the bad and forget some good, you know. Just say, go a long way, what a pleasure, comes off a bit, and they say bloodbath. Oh, hang on, it went up that far, a little bit of a pullback. It's not exactly a bloodbath. So take your point. Thanks for that, Cheryl. Cheers all up. Okay, right. CAD was a sell a couple of days or so ago. I'm trying to look for the information. I'll find it. Where's the information? GB. Oh, yes, right. 1.55. I think some might go in better price. So that's fine. If you take your profit, great. If you haven't taken your profit, we'll argue modify your stop loss to profit and hope we get some more downside. Okay. So that's good. Okay. Going back to the wave, I'm not sure it's a major reason, but I think something contributed to it is, you know, the mainstream media for a while now have been after Trump. And if you hammer on and hammer on and hammer on it, you start having doubts yourself. And he's a brave guy, but I think, quite frankly, I'm not sure I agreed with him just before the election to say, I've got some big news coming out tomorrow. Well, everyone took that he's going to run for the presidency again. Now, a lot of guys like the Republican, they don't like the wokeness of the too far left it's gone on the Democrats, but they've still got a bit of a thing about Trump. That's one with more of a DeSantis fan. And he came out called De Sanctimonious, which doesn't help start teasing a front runner in your own party. And not me saying it, but again on Bloomberg and a few others who said they were supportive of Trump. They're not being left-wing anti him, supportive of him. They thought that wasn't a good move, and a good move. And the takers, and I think it's good. They might have a good point there, certainly to agree to a certain extent that maybe the independent guys were going to go Republican, thought they chicken out and either didn't vote or just went back to being Dems again. And that's why one of the reasons I think could have been a closer call than expected. And the other one, of course, the polls. The polls seem to get it wrong every bloody time. But anyway, that's just a theory. Come back to what you're saying there, Jethro. Right, GBP, JPY. Right, you just put that down, Mike. I'm not sure what you want to do with it. Do you want to buy it or sell it? What do you want to do with this one? Let's put up for discussion. I'm not going to believe this, but I sometimes do get sick and tired of the sound of my own voice. That's true, eh, Clinton? I know you don't believe me, but I do. So let's put this up for discussion. You're selling it. Kuda wants to sell it. You sold it yesterday, okay? And one, wow, bloody hell. Nice one, Cyril. Well, clearly, Mike, you know the score. Make sure you modify your stop to profit. You're in a lovely profit there. It's about 140 odd pips. What a pleasure. Well, clearly modify, let it run. Okay, so expecting downside. Well done, yeah. Okay, my problem is going to zoom. Is that keep looking all the way around? Is that zoom in or out? Zoom in a bit, yeah. Zoom in a bit. They're nearly 10 hours old today, that candle, and to me that looks like a bit of indecision creeping in. So I'm afraid I go along with that, Cheryl. I'm not sure I'll take it now. Actually, you couldn't even get a bounce here. I'm a bit wary of the Japanese yen at the moment. In fact, I'm aware of the pound as normal and the Japanese yen particularly now. So there's two currencies I'm a little bit wary of at the moment. But I think we might get a bit of a bounce. But my problem with that is indecision candle there. Remember, when you look at the candles, forget all the fancy names. You look and see what the buyer and the seller are up to. If the buyers are dominant, great. Seller dominant, great. It's when neither are dominant where you get the indecision worry. At the moment, I think it's a bit indecisive. So those who sold it, well spotted. I'm not sure I would have been too keen on that trade, but as it turned out, I would have missed it. I would have gone for it, so I missed out on it. But well done, Mike, in taking it. But modify your stop. It might have further downside, but I wouldn't be surprised with a bit of a bounce there. I'm not sure I see a trade idea at this price. Anybody disagree with that? Anybody see a trade at this price? Okay, Kim, very simple. This is really straightforward. Remember that mantra, common sense. Don't overcomplicate. Look at this candle here. As it goes up, the sellers come in. As it goes down, the buyers come in. That's indecision. Nobody's dominant. What's on this candle here? The buyers are dominant. This candle here, the sellers are dominant. If you start seeing dominant downside, you want to join the momentum because the sellers are in control. Here, the buyers are in control. Nobody's in control. Just to zoom in a little bit more. Look at this candle here. I know it's only 10 hours old, but neither in control. It's a bit like, as I say, I like to use the boxing terms. I'm a bit out of touch with boxing, so I don't know who the resident heavyweight is, but everyone's seen of Mike Tyson. So you say it's like, with all due respect to myself, put him in the ring of Mike Tyson. It's a pretty clear expectation that he will win. But it's not 100% because just as he's about to knock me out, he has a heart attack and I win. You get the idea. So nothing's 100%. Now, when you put Mike Tyson with another equally good boxer, it's difficult to call. And that's when you get the indecision problem. Now, that's basically what I meant by that. That's why I like to look at the wicks to see who's in control. And that means when you see the wicks, it means the buyers are jumping in to defend, and then it goes up, the seller jumping in to defend. But that sort of makes sense. Okay, so we'll move on with that. I don't see a trade. Before we move on, anybody see a trade at market? I'm putting my hand up. No. Anybody? Because I'm going to move on otherwise. At market, I'll tell you what, we'll go in order. We'll look at that in a moment. So we'll do the Euro CAD for Marius. I was hoping for a sell here, but it doesn't seem to be panning out. Look at this last couple of days, to be honest. I've been looking to sellers the last couple of days, and particularly yesterday, I thought it was a big opportunity there. And thank goodness I waited, because look what happened. It just bounced above there. And again, go back to what we were talking about there, Kim. Just zoom in a bit. Bounce through there, and I don't know now what. But then again, look, no follow through. The sellers came in again. So is that going to be defended, or is it going to break back down again? Is the euro that strong at the moment? What's the Canadian doing, being fairly weak? I know oil's come off, but it's still pretty high. As I know, there's nothing wrong with the economy there, more than anywhere else. I suppose they've got a lot of resources there, so the debt problem's not as bad as a lot of other countries. I think that's a bit indeterminate. But I was leaning on the sell, but look what happened yesterday. And I would have thought it's a good possibility of sell, defending that area there, with a downside, look what happened. So I hate to say it, my friend, I need some help on this. To me, I'm not sure. Bit of a go figure job. Anybody see a particular direction on this one? I want to say, right, I'm aggressive, I'm going to buy it or sell it here. I think even Zef, is he Zef with us? I think even Zef's a bit quiet at the moment. And he's quite a confident trader. I think we need Cheryl to bring some happiness back on this one. Shame. Do you want to leave it, or does someone see a trade here, or should we move on? I forgot about that, Cheryl. I forgot about that. Hey. What happened there? What about, you had about 7, that's right, 7 trades. I hear a bit of quietness coming out. Did they go all right there, Zeph? Maybe we can tease them a bit. Maybe they went well and shut us all up. We'll look at them just now here. What did you want to look at there? GBP CAD, aka Rambo. Yeah, Rambo's very quiet. Yeah. Yeah, so the trouble is, if you get off the fence, you're a hero. If you get off the fence on the wrong side, you're up for a Mickey take. Right, GBP AUD. Look at that. What's GBP AUD? Look at this. Look at this. What is the size of that? Might be bigger than you think it is. What's that range there? That's a bit bigger. It's 150 pip range. Looks quite tiny on the chart, doesn't it? So range trade. I know it might be above the 200 and the 50, but on a range trade, somebody mentioned about scalping earlier on. If you like the range trade, maybe we can short it back down to more of the range. Actually, what do you think of that? I'm just going to jump to this one. Is it worth chasing now? GBP CAD. I think it's a bit halfway house there. I think try and get a better price, Gerard. It's a bit halfway house for that. Okay, thanks, Etienne. Thanks for your support as always. And yeah, okay, well, hope your point works out, whatever it happens to be. Okay, just I thought, is Zeph with us? Maybe, probably working. I know sometimes I shared a joke and he missed it because he was working. Because I think he's doing other stuff as well. Just got in the background, that might be it. Anyway, he'll join us just now. I think it's about halfway house on this one, but I see the sell. It's a bit of daily, yep. A bit of a support there. If you're getting short, bit of support there. Might get a bit of downside there. How far is that? It's 100 pips. Where you can put the stop. I want to put it up there. So I don't get a risk reward this level. If it breaks here, definitely. If you get a better price, short it. I'd rather shorten the rally or a break. That's probably what he's done. He's just probably on a first-class flight somewhere at the moment. Yeah, we'll look at CAD CHF in a moment. GBP CAD. We can't get a risk reward at these levels. I see downside, so might take short the rally hard or a break. But I'm definitely airing to the downside. Okay, the answer to that. If I missed anything before we get on to the CAD chef, Eurogard CAD, we look for it. Didn't see one there. We look at gold. We'll do gold quickly. That came first. The problem with gold at the moment, it is a football to fundamentals. I hope you know what I mean by that. In other words, what's happening, the big US world out there affects it very much. As I said before, strong dollar, weak gold. High yields on the 10-year bond or note, weak gold, and vice versa. As I said, I'm inkling to the downside, but I want more clarity on the US midterms. And quite frankly, I want more clarity at 3:30 this afternoon on the CPI figures and how that inflationary or lack of inflation will get interpreted by the institutions before I get too cute with gold. But if you force it, I'd rather be short than long. But I'm not too keen on getting in on that for you guys, or advising it that way. Hope that makes sense. If you want any more detail, just ask. Leave it alone. Okay, I just had to scroll down the chat line and said, my opinion, leave it alone. I agree with that. LIA, if you don't know what that means, start by Yanda Kamaluddin. What's happened here? Used to be a regular trading room, and you say LIA, leave it alone. GBP Orba, I think we looked at that. We'll look at Clinton's first, CAD CHF. Was mentioned earlier on as well. Just make sure the information is there. Right, well, it looks like it's in the sell zone. Remember, the CAD is reasonably strong. Swiss has been a bit weak lately, but it's also reasonably strong. So they're both kinds of reasonably strong ones. It seemed to come to a bit of resistance there. I'm not sure, to be honest. Do you want to add something on there, Clinton? What do you want to do with it? Yes, some buyers are coming as we speak. A few sellers coming on the wick there, Kim. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not comfortable. Go to the 1 hour, okay, pleasure. But it's not much sustained there. What's this for a jump? only about 10 pips. It's not exactly a big buying scenario. 10 pips is squat. And the NAS, that's a hiccup. I'm more an LIA on this one, to be honest. If you like the trade, do you want to unmute and take it from there?
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'll also wait.
Yeah, you wait. Okay, Cheryl waits. I think most people will wait on that one. Okay. We looked at GBP all just now. I think we found some. We'll have a revisit. We're scrabbling around here a bit, guys. Sorry to say. It's a range trade. That's right. Rings a bell now. Just talk about it now. Come back to it. Sorry, Morris. You're quite right. Thanks for reminding me. Possibly a range trade here. It might just reach the 10-day moving average. That's the maroon line. Might do that, but I spot you because I think both are a reasonably middleweight sector, both currencies. One is not that much stronger than the other one. We know about GBP being a bit of a maverick, but I think it's a bit of a range trade at the moment. If it gets to 1.78, probably have a pullback from there. So I think, you know, you don't see any wick there, guys. So the buyers are in control at the moment. Okay, we don't see any sellers appearing. So maybe just might get a better price and trade that range down, because it doesn't look much in the chart, but we look just now, it's about 100 pips down there. In fact, more, it's 150 pips. So there's no problem with the downside. And the stop up here, we might get a trade there. Might get a trade. If it just goes up a little bit more or something like that, you might get a trade there. I'm beginning to like it more and more, Morris. Yeah, you're learning there, Morris. I've just seen it there. Remember, I'd look at one screen, the other one, 1.78, the round figure. Don't forget, guys, round figure, psychological. There's no rationale, it's just a psychological thing of support resistance. Guys put their entries there, TPs there. That's what I say. If you aim at 1.7795, you might as well aim at 1.78 because it's likely to get there. Likely being the operative word. They say no guarantees. But it seems to be, let's have a look at the short-term chart. Not seeing much evidence here of any sellers coming in now. Of course, they're coming in now, I've said that. Outside Sod's Law, don't see much area of sellers coming in. If you're worried about missing it, we can still have a stop out of the way, because I'm going to like this, to be honest. We're going to have a stop. It's a bit too wide. Maybe a 100 pip stop, 90 pip stop. Take it down there. It's not too bad. Put the position size up and have a look at it. Somewhere there. And the TP somewhere there. What's that say? 176, call it 176.60. Don't forget, if it doesn't get there, it doesn't matter if it gets 76.60, get that round down. Okay, it doesn't matter if it doesn't get there, as long as you modify the stop. If it goes halfway there and you stopped out in a profit, so be it. Some sellers are coming in. I'm going to like this one. What do you think, guys? Agreed, Cheryl. Okay, Morris wants to go for a buy. I want to go for a sell. Cheryl wants to go for a sell. Should we do that? We have two opposing opinions, which is what it's all about. Just moving as we speak. Looks like the downside's kicking in there. But I like a sell, and Morris wants a buy. Oh, you meant a sell. Okay, fair enough. So it seemed to be a sell. Good. Sell. Okay, let's do it then. Happy with that. Look at the risk reward now. It's already moving. You can put this down a little bit further to 200 if you like, just to rescue it. Cheating a little bit, but there. Okay, we'll do it. That's also true, Cheryl. But I'm not forcing this one. It's nothing to do with the dollar. Well, not everything's to do with the dollar, but it's not dollar itself. Yeah, I think we've got a chance on this one. Happy with that. We'll put this one down. Okay, there you are. Well, you can wait if you like, Cheryl. What do you want to do there? You want to sell it when it breaks there? Oh, the one out. Yeah, around about the round figure. Might be an idea. But anyway, got the stop out of the way. Might just get a better price. Okay, I've got it written down. We can check it out later on. Those who want it, there it is. Okay. All got it? Those who want to do it. Okay. Whilst we're checking on that, I just want to go back to the one we had out earlier on. Thank goodness for that. Start to come back again. Sure. So those joined a bit late, lucky you, you're in profit. Those who got in on my signal, well, it might come right. Slight to the negative, but it might come right. Okay. Great. I've got it down. Great. Thought a couple of guys might like it. We'll see how that goes. Okay, just want to check again. AUD USD. It's bounced. Thought it might. You might have got stopped out if you modified to 20. On the hour one, yeah. Not quite. Not quite. Might still be in. But I wouldn't move your stop out of the way. If you get stopped out, I'll so be it. But you've been a profit. If you thought it was too close, you had a slightly wider one, fair enough. But there's a classic example of the 64 holding and getting a bounce. Put his head below it and then bounce back up around about the 64 level. Dollar's still fairly strong according to the other chart. I've got in front of me the DXY. I assume you've all got the DXY. So, yeah. Could be more downside if you're still in. If you're not in, I wouldn't be chasing these levels here. Okay. Any comments? No, I wouldn't, not here. I wouldn't be chasing it here, no. I'm too worried about these midterms going out. So might have some weakness or strength of the dollar, CPI coming. I'm a little bit nervous. If you're in, you modify, excuse me, you're safe. But if you're not in, I'm a little bit nervous chasing it here. I'm still pro the sell, by the way. But if you're not in, maybe get a better price. The original 64.87. So anybody think it's worth chasing here? I put my hand up and say rather not. But anyone to support Kuda on that one? Anyone want to chase it here? See your emoji, but not sure what that means. Wait for the fundies, okay. Okay, right. So don't chase it here, seems to be. Okay, another one we came out with CHFJPY. You might have been stopped out of this one. It did very well. I traded on my idea, did very well. It's coming off a bit now, so you might have been stopped out of the profit. Keep an eye on that. Might get another opportunity to buy this. I'm going to buy this yen or no bloody yen being a bit iffy. I still buy the Swiss over the yen any day. So if this comes off a little bit more, we might get another opportunity to get in. Right about these sort of levels. So keep an eye on that, guys, if I miss it. And it does pull back a bit further, around about maybe around 148 figure. We can look at maybe going to another one. And the profit, I trust, stopped out's got a horrible word to it, but stopped out in the profit, that's the major difference. Will you stop out in the profit, Farney? Well, that's some good news, Marius. Small, yes, but at least it wasn't a loss. That's good stuff. Well, yeah, let's see if we can come back again and maybe do a re-entry, as they say. Re-entry into the atmosphere. Okay, so keep an eye on that, so don't forget, I'll write it down just in case. CHFJPY to watch. I think we've got an option there for buy if it goes down a bit. Well, yeah, well, there you are then. It's a trillion times better than a loss, I can tell you. GBP AUD, we got that circle line through that. Looking at the wrong one. There's GBP CAD. Anything happening there? No, indecision on the 1 hour, so don't chase that now. Okay, leave it. You're running profits, well done. As long as you stick with running profits and make sure you don't take a loss of it. Just bear that in mind, guys. A loss will come, but if it's really bad, if a loss comes out of a winning trade, horrible to be up 60 pips, forget to modify the stop, and then something happens out there in the big wide world out there, and it bangs down and you're stopped out in the negative. Okay. On the bright side, I think we should get some action this afternoon. We open at 4. I think there may be a chance to get the midterm results out, and the CPI will definitely be out by then. And maybe we get a bit of a clear field to actually look for some trade which might get a bit of follow through without this problem of fundamentals screwing the system up. Okay. No, you hog it with pleasure, Marius. I want someone to hog it. Sick of me hogging it. You're a cat. I want to sell it. See me happening. Let's have a look. It seems to be holding this 200 on the daily. Hey, it seems to be holding. I must admit, I think the euro is weaker without even looking at the chart. My personal opinion, I think the euro is weaker than the Canadian. So I'm looking to sell it. And it's tried to move its head above. And look at the sellers. Look at the wick there, guys. As I mentioned before, as soon as it goes up, the sellers come in. It seems to be battling the whole above the 200. I do see some downside there. We'll just stop if we do it. Is that going to be too far? It's a little bit far. It'd be nice to have a stop up there. I think if we get a more of a confirmed break, maybe wait for a candle, even a 15-minute one or something like that. Look, our one, we won't be in the trading room. But if we get a bit of a break there, then we can put maybe a tighter stop here somewhere. Maybe a little bit wider than that. Somewhere around about this line, and then take it down here. But I do see the opportunity. I looked at it yesterday, and I thought it's a good one. Actually, even if we did it yesterday, the stop would have been out of the way of this one here. You'd still be in. So if you got it around this level, you'd be breaking even now. So, to be honest, I'm talking myself into this, Marius. I'm starting to more like it. As a seller, trust me, talking selling here. I like the attitude, Cheryl. Exactly. Good point. Profit, we like him. And to be honest, I'm going to share this, if you don't mind, Marius. Haven't been doing it that long a time, and he's coming out with ideas already. So it shows what can be done. It's not like studying to be a doctor or lawyer. 5 years later, you go and fail your exam, and spend all that money, time, and study and effort. You know, it just doesn't take long to get some basic idea of what's going on. Yeah. It's not as pretty on the 4 hour, I take your point. It's not as pretty. But I have to say, I do see a bit of downside. I think maybe more prudent to wait for a confirmation on this one. Hey, as Jesse just pointed out, we don't want to push too hard because it's a bit of a famine out there. But I think maybe wait for confirmation. But if you want to be aggressive, I do see the downside. I said, Marison Way is a good thing. A lot of very successful people, Churchill, Maggie Thatcher, amongst many, only need about 4 hours sleep a night, lucky buggers. Onassis. You remember Onassis, the oil, sorry, the shipping magnate? He needed about 3 hours sleep. That's all he needed. Incredible. AUD CAD. Okay. We'll leave this one, okay? Come back to it. But I think it's a good chance of a short if you want to be aggressive. AUD CAD. I think it's a little bit far up there, but still like it there. So you get a TP is worthwhile. A problem is getting a TP is worth your while. If you take it, there's not going to risk reward you take it to there. So you'd have to take it to here, and it was there way back in, well, 2.5 years ago. You see my point? So your problem is, unless you put a tighter stop there and a high risk trade, maybe a little bit, a bit too tight. Maybe a 60 pip stop. How far is this? No, you're not going to get a risk reward. Ouch, like mom. I used to rin on 4 hours, but with a little one, life changes, not complaining, love it. You know, not sure what you mean by that. As long as you love it, it's the main thing. Okay, Gerard, I don't know. Yeah, sure, of course, yeah. I can't find a risk reward unless you lose the 4 hour. Come to that. I think it's a bit busier, my guess, hey? Maybe, okay, use this, maybe we can do an aggressive one. There you are. A lot of people trade the 4 hour, don't forget, it's just meant some people an hour. The 4 hour one, you get a risk reward. It's only about 50 pips. And then if you put the daily, can we get one on the daily? Just about squeeze it, maybe 45 pip stop. That's really aggressive, really pushing it. Anyone want to do this on the 4 hour trade? An aggressive one. Or maybe a little bit more prudent, see if we get a couple of buyers are coming in here. It's good 15 minutes. Maybe a little bit of a bounce to get a better price. Risk missing it, but maybe a better price, we can bounce a bit to sell it down. How's that feel? Scratching a bit here, guys. I need a bit of your help. See what I'm thinking there, Clinton? Trying to force a trade, but at the same time, not as straightforward as we'd like it. So I'm switching to 4 hour. For a 4 hour strategy, there's a possibility of a trade there. Because I don't want to take an aggressive 4 hour trade. Yeah. Okay, good for you. Someone's got somebody Rambo in them. I'm going to make it fairly tight to make it worth your while. That's too tight. About here. Okay, put it there. I'm telling you that we've got a problem. Not going to risk reward. Clearly not going to get a risk reward. So we're going to have to make it a bit tighter. That's too tight. We need it up there. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, we can do it. 86.06. Actually made 86 if we get to that far. Yeah, just about squeeze it in. That's a pretty, I'll just say, aggressive, very aggressive trade because the stop was in the day's range and the day is only 10 hours old. Bear that in mind. So if you haven't got big capital and you haven't got a big risk appetite, rather stay clear. This is very much the aggressive. This is a Rambo trade. Okay, who wants to do the Rambo trade? I like this, a Rambo trade. Who wants to do the aggressive Rambo trade? Kim's keen. Anyone want to join Kim? Anyone going to be seriously aggressive there? Cluck, cluck. That's, hey, finally, we got some. About time the guys got macho, hey? About time the guys. We used to have a sort of a battle of the sexes in here. I gave it up after a while because the females seem to get more right trades than us, and I thought that was unfair, so I stopped it. I'm a poor loser. AUD CAD. We'll put down Kim aggressive. No, put Rambo. What the hell? Rambo trade. There we are. 86.70. 0.870. That was just above the round figure. Stop is just above the round figure, which is good. 86 on the nail. Interesting that works out. I hope your Rambo guy could get it right. That'd be nice. Okay, fair enough. Could do no problem with that. Always remember, I'm just going what Kuda said there. The market is made up of buyers and sellers. If everyone agrees, we don't have a market. So you've got to have people having the opposite opinion to create the market. So that's fine. Okay, we'll try it out on the real one when the emotions involved. Zeph report back, and then we can have a look at it in the trading room. Okay, because often the demo account to try it out, and then you've got to put it into reality. As I was saying this morning in the strategy room, that's why you often use golf. Very different when you're putting for free or you're putting for $1 million prize. Different. But remember, 15 minutes, you've got maybe an exponential indicator, because as I say, it's such a tiny time frame, and you've got to take costs into account as well. I'm a bit wary of that personally, but if you come up with it, great. Okay, moving along. I'm going to revisit. I just want to have a look at the ones that got out, GBP, see if it start to come right. That was my idea this morning. I put my hand up. GBP NZD. That's not quite, but it's trying to come off. So it's not a disaster. It's not in profit yet, but let's just keep our fingers crossed. And we just entered the pound ord, so it may be quick to check it, but it's about even, Steve. We've got it at 75. It's about there now. It's about the same. Okay. So it's about the same as it was this morning. There. Okay. EuroCAD. You all wanted to wait on that, if I remember. Yeah, it's not getting any confirmation, so we'll wait on that one. Let's try a 15-minute. We'll try the EuroCAD in a 15-minute Bollinger. Sure, that sort of tells you. Just playing around a little bit here. It's going to be brilliant, fantastic trades. But if you find one, I'll stop all this and go straight to it. If you want any clarification in the meantime, I'm using some stuff on the charts, you know, why, where, or what. Just question it. This is not a training room, like I mentioned. It's certainly a clarification room as well as trading, if you want it. Bollinger Band. So it's a trend, beg your pardon. It's not an oscillator. Don't know why they call them oscillator, because all of them lag the price action. What would you say on this one, on the 15-minute Bollinger Band? Zeph, it's all yours. Do you want to unmute and take me through it? Or pick another one, anything you like. Take us through it. Do you want to unmute and take us through it there, Zeph? The floor is yours. Oh, right. It's going to be difficult then. Because I'm not quite sure how I would read that. It is a pity, yeah. Normally gets to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Normally it's outside. It usually creeps back in again. That's the theory anyway, against the price action to move back up again. But as I say, all these lag the price action, don't forget. So it doesn't really tell me a heck of a lot, to be honest. Unless somebody sees something there and wants to explain it to me. Having looked at this, maybe it's a bigger move down, looking at the way the Bollinger Band's widening. Remember, that's the moving average in between. That's a 15-minute moving average. Center one. That's not telling me anything, George. I'm trying to work out what it's telling you. Not a Bollinger Band is clearly, but I'm not sure what it's telling me. Probably find that line will confirm down there and they're going to bounce up, move back up again the short term. But on a short term basis, if you can type, would you be buying or selling this? Okay. It's working out for you all like that, that bot. I'll use that's an oscillator, defaulted ones. There we are. So you think might be a buy using the indicators. That's interesting. Should we write that down? See how that works out. 50-minute chart using the indicators. See how it works out. EG to make sure we know this one. EURCAD. Are we all agreed on this one? Don't have to put money on it. Just saying, let's see how it works out for fun. Is it going to be on the 10 period if it was inside or the outside, move towards the center? Well, that's correct in the Bollinger theory. That's right, the theory should be a buy, okay. So we can do the buy, I'll stick that one, fine. 1.3539, because we're going on the ask. Let's see how it works out. I'm not going to put stop or TPs in, not going to bother. Just going to put that down, circulate it, put a circle around it to remind me, and see how that goes. Okay. Happy. But I say, don't forget all the time, I hear you, but the indicators do lag that price action. Just because it's down there, it doesn't say it's going to bounce at all. I mean, if it's weak, it's going to continue down, and this will stay in this line. It doesn't go below zero, but the price can go well down. Otherwise, nothing wrong with it, as long as you're aware of that. That's what I mean. Any other thing you like to? Now we haven't got any trade ideas out of the experiment. Would you like to look at what the GBP NZD is? Let's see if we've got a trade on that. The same 50-minute principle. Well, it's adding to the cause. Hey, Zeph, adding to the cause for downside. So if you're in Max, it might be a sort of psychological sort of morale booster. Because according to the Bollingers and the RSI slightly high, it might be some downside there. Don't want to be exact on the center line, I get that. Plus mine, nothing's exact here. Okay. If you've got a bot that's working for you that kind of level, well, trouble is everyone gets that bot, you won't have a market. You've got to take the opposite side. You've got to have a counterparty all the time. So who's going to be the 2%, you know? Okay. Okay, right. Any other questions? It's a bit quiet, as I say, from the trading aspect. Unless somebody spots the trade, we'll stop immediately and go to it. Any other questions? Anything you'd like to have a look at and try out? Enhance the knowledge while we have a quiet period. Not really. Not on my website. That's just that's the experience. And back testing. That's one thing useful when you're doing a demo. Is you can back test a couple of ideas, try them out, and see how they work out for you. So demo again is for testing new strategies and for learning how to operate the platform. Clearly, you all know how to operate the platform, so that's now disregarded at the moment, but try a new strategy you can. But not to really trade. Learning to trade, you've got to do the live. Anyone else have some sort of fancy indicator like to try out? I don't think actually has one. It might have. I've never used it. Stock Market College used to many years ago have back testers where you can play around with it and it'll automatically come up with a back testing idea to see how many wins and losses you got. I'm not sure this one has it. It might have. I've never played with it. Clinton might help you on that. He does a lot of platform trading. He might, and he's fairly knowledgeable on IT. He might know something on that. But we don't have bots on here. That might change in the future, but not at the moment. So what do I do now? Okay, thanks, Clinton. No problem. What do I do now? Mask. I've never used this, so you've got to tell me. One. Playing around here, we might find the holy grail of trading. That'll be all right here. And we'll all retire and put our money in this and you can't lose, eh? What do you want to use? This is basically meaningless to me at the moment. What about this one? Can I tick on this? Have a who's the bloody thing? Shall I tick on this one? And you help me, Jethro. Indicator, okay. We're using 1 hour. Okay, I've just got to put it in first. Well, what's it? GBPNZD, BPNZD. Last year, should we use a year? Yeah, of course, that's the whole thing with the robot, takes the emotion out of it. Plug the with the chart and it runs back test for you. How do I plug it in? Start, resume. Just wait for updates, go onto the other screen. So it's running on this, probably can't see it. Not really telling me much. I think I'll stop. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, Mr. Robot. Not that off. Do it over, let's say, 1 month. It's taking too long. Okay, that might work. Can do it shorter period. Customer buys a period. Where do I put that in? I see. We'll probably to here then. Make it to the beginning of the week. There we are. That might work. Not sure what's telling me. I'm just going to stop and share. See, sorry, guys, just a bit of experimentation here. Stop the share and share the screen again. Right, how do I change that over to candles? Here we are. So, what exactly is that telling you? Let's read the stuff down here. What's that telling you? Not telling me much, or am I being a bit thick here? Okay, yeah, because we don't have it. Well, we've got to with another broker. That's why. Okay, never mind. We'll leave that then. Okay, gotcha. Thanks. Well, all trying to learn stuff, eh? Never too old to learn, eh? Now, how to get rid of this thing now?
Roger, what you can do is you can go to view, your tab on
View.
it. Yes. And then you just select strategy tester again.
Just click on it.
Yes. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, maybe we're playing around with it, might come out with something there. But I know we don't have robots on here, so yeah, okay. Fair enough. But you say anyway, Jethro and Zeth, it works for you. Well, share it. Okay, that's all we want, isn't it? That'd be something valuable. We get something like a holy grail of a 90% hit rate. Then we can all give up our menial tasks and just let this work for you. Hey. But we agreed on the sell. It seems to be coming off, so hopefully that's going to work out. Hey, happy guys. Okay, bit of experimentation there. Right, anything else you'd like to discuss in the meantime? Come, you're right. Come on, you bugger. We'll have a look at AUD. Do you want to leave the indicators on? We'll leave them on for the moment. We'll take them off later. AUD, CAD. That was one at 86.70. I think that was the that's the aggressive one. The aggressive one's a bit bloody quiet, isn't it? Talk about aggressive, not very hardly moving. We'll see. This one we had as a sell, isn't it? We'll call the Bollinger Band. That might be a buy going up there. We'll see anyway. Not much happening, whatever side. Okay, GBP ORD. That's coming right. It's coming right. So we've got two trades out. GBP NZD is starting to come right. We're not quite there yet. And GBP ORD at 97.75 or sell. Quite a few guys knew took that. And already you're in about 15 pips profit. Very nice. Oh, the Euro CAD looked at as a fun buy. Saw that there. 35.39. It's not really working out, is it? It should be come off a bit. 35.39, and that's come off a bit. So yeah, so much for that one. But anyway, I'm for the pro of the sell anyway. Actually, maybe we'll serious look at this one for a sell. See, it's breaking through as we speak. I'm just going to get rid of these unless you really want them on there. Just cluttering up for me. Yeah, it's breaking through. What did we leave it alone? We don't too aggressive. Seem to be coming right. Not a lot of follow through. It's my only problem at the moment. It's only 10 pips away. That's on the daily. But yeah, do see some downside. It seems to be happening. I want to chase it here. CAD JPY. FTSE. Running to profit. Okay, good stuff. It's the second button. Right. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I've just got a little boy's room. Sorry. Excuse me. Okay, FTSE. Remember, normally indices follow the Americans, so we'll go to the FTSE in the meantime. Just check that out. What do you want to do with it? You want to buy it, Farley? I'm not so sure about that. I still see down seller rally. To see the seller rally, the Americans, I'm going to certainly seller rally on the FTSE, the DAX, Cacaron, Hang Seng, you name it. I'm not sure about the buy on that one. I'm not sure I'd go in it actually. I'd rather look at maybe the S&P or something, the front runner. But if I was going to do this, 73 is a round figure. I'm not sure you get much follow through. It's very sideways, like the world's markets are at the moment, last couple of days, for fundamental news coming out. But that being as it may, I'm angling more towards probably a bit more downside. Okay, I'll put it back on again. Give me a second. Okay, might have to have the right figures in here. But yeah, I'll be looking more on downside on this one. Okay. CAD JPY, it's one of my favorites, this one, to get a decent price. But I'm not sure we can get a decent price on it. This is what I'm aiming for. I'd rather get a little bit better. Maybe if it come off about 60 odd pips, I'd like to buy this, yeah. Although having said that, it's been defended. Look, the buyers are coming in. Looking quite good in the short term, using the Bollinger Band, hey? I'm not sure I want to chase it yet. I want to get a better price, to be honest. Bit of resistance there as well. I want to buy it for sure, but I want to buy it down here somewhere. Maybe what we're on the 4 hour now, maybe get a little bit near the round figure. No, I'm not too sure about this at the moment. Jethro, what do you want to do with this? Maybe you got something there that I haven't got. You talk me through it. 108, yeah, I'm more happy with that, not instead of market, yeah. Put a line there for you. There we are. This one here we got up front, okay? So what's that telling us? I agree about the upside. That's obvious, but I mean, I'm talking about an entry. Does that mean it might pull back a bit, or what would you say? Come on, you bot experts. Whether you're in or not, what do you think? This particular price now, does that indicator tell you get in now or pull back? The taking point might be means you've got to check because the robot's doing it to get that point. But what do you think? I'm pro pullback, but what do you think? So, okay, so it hasn't pulled back within the band itself, so the momentum is still on the up. Does that mean you chase it here or wait for a pullback? On 108, I can do that with pleasure. Where can I drop the stop? Yeah, 90. Make it 107.10. TP. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You've got to take it higher. It's your only problem. You got to take it to about these levels here. Yeah, that's your level there. See where the highs there? That would be a level there. 109.80. Remember, if it doesn't make it, you stop down the profits, so be it. 109.80. What is that? It's a pending order. Okay, what do you think? It's pending order 108? Any input on that? Okay, so Fiso's happy. Anybody else? Okay, I've got good. Okay, I'll put that down then. Two guys happy on the pending. Let's see how that works out. CAD, JPY, by pending 108, 107.07, 109.8. It's been quite interesting for all of us this morning, it turns out. Yeah, we all learned a little bit, hey? And the stocks out of the way of the 50, the Bollinger Band for previous lows going back to about a month or so ago, just under a month ago. Yeah. Let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah. Looks like it might attack that from your Bollinger Band theory. Look at 1 hour if you like. Not too much. Okay, well, there we are then. We'll look at the market price anyway. But yeah, it's a buy limit, is correct. Phillips going in, yeah. So there we are. So I've got it written down there. So we'll check that out later on. It's coming near the close today. We'll look at 4 o'clock and we come back again, see how that works out. Okay. All got that? I'm going to go to that just now for Great Minds Think Alike. It's going to go to that right now. Just knock that off. EuroCAD. You want to go to the 15-minute? Fools never differ. Thanks very much, Cheryl. 35.26. So you're looking to buy from here to go back to 35.26. Is that correct? Oh, I meant the 5-minute. Okay. I see what you mean. Going back to the center of the bag. That's the theory in Bollinger Bands. I do know that. Yeah. There we are. So we're looking at a buy here on the 5-minute to go back up there. Is that what you're saying? I'm not as confident as you on that one. But just do it for fun, see how it works out. Well, I hope you learned something, Kuda. It's been, certainly for me, it's been quite an interesting session. I'm not yet convinced. I haven't been convinced for a while on indicators, to be honest, but if they work for you, or you've got robots that are working for you, who am I to say you're on? But this, to me, rather, I would be sort of looking for shorting it, but still, see if we can get a short-term bounce, seriously short-term bounce. Which you see how it works out. Okay, right. Any other comments, guys? Anything else you'd like to look at? You'd be keen to check out? Are we good? By the way, just a little tip here, don't use the ZAR in any of these because the costs are much higher. So, even if you're targeting a very short-term scalp, you haven't covered your costs. Thank you. Forgot about Brent. All right, bit iffy at the moment, but I think it's come back and tested it. Coming off, inventories played a part of it yesterday. Come back to test the area there. Might get a bit of a bounce. Might get a bit of a bounce here, technically speaking. On a daily Bollinger, you'd be looking at that for a bounce anyway, back up to the center line, eh? But I'm expecting a bit of a bounce. Clinton, what do you think? You tried oil quite a bit. Do you think we can get a bounce here? You're boxing along, that helps, good. With the 4 hour in the meantime. Ooh, this is giving a bit of a jip, this guy here, look at this. Maybe wait for a confirmed break up above there on the 4 hour. Very indecision the last couple of 4 hour candles, okay? But it could be a bit of upside. Losing momentum, that's for sure, yeah. There's a chance of a bit of upside. If you're long on it already and you're in, you should be breaking even a bit of profit there, maybe hold on. We're altered today, I certainly did, yeah. Don't worry, be happy, yeah. Okay, Cheryl, good stuff. Okay, well, Brent, do you think we'd rather wait for a break up above to confirm on the 4 hour before diving in? What do you think, guys? Not particularly motivating, true. Okay, right. Well, leave Brent and have a look at it later on, maybe more confirmation. Okay. Happy with that. Okay, right. It's coming near closing time now. We've had a bit of learning, couple of ideas there. I'm very much open minded to new ones, but to just say a little bit iffy. That's a very scalping, maybe. I've never used a bot, but I'm slightly longer term on that. I still find that I'd rather predict the ABC pattern rather than try and use a lagging indicator to give me. But having said that, in fact, when I use a confirmation, rather than indicator, I usually use a candle. But sure, maybe a confirmation that will prove the point. And that's confirmation or something like that. Okay. Well, we've got a trader on it to go to 1167. Let's see whether that should get further downside. Look at the Dow at the moment. It's pretty even, Steven. It's slightly up, but that might easily change. Yeah, I think you're in profit at the moment. Hopefully it comes off a bit more. That's all I can say on that. Well, you could learn on it, but we don't have them. Not a quick trade anyway. So not even if you knew how you have to, I'm sorry, I have to go somewhere else. Okay, we'll check it. Well, 4:30 because that's when it opens. Yeah. Okay. Right, that's about me. That's correct, Maris. I mentioned earlier on. You would have been 100 times that, yeah. Pretty. You've gone wrong, you'd be happy, but yeah, it was multiplied by 100, and that would be the correct position. Okay, where are we now? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I think that's it. If you guys, by the way, join later on, come in the other fancy ideas, which we can all learn from. What a pleasure if it's quiet. If it's not, then we have to get on with the trading side. Because CPI comes out and stuff is happening, and lots of concentrate on that. But In the meantime, I think we all had a bit of an education there, which is great. And thank you, Colin. That's what it's for. And hope we had a bit of fun as well. Okay, great, guys. Thanks very much indeed. And yeah, well, catch you later on this afternoon, those who can make it. Cheers. See you at 4. Cheers, guys.